Okay, I am back. And since we got the other stuff sorted out, I guess I can go back to chapter 6. And I'm right now trying to decide the just give me a second, guys. Yay. Geeko. Streaming again. Okay, so let's get back to it. Okay. So an attempt now Bomb is probably not watching just because oh maybe I'll say it in here too. Okay. Anyways. Now, I was already talking with Grok, finding places for, okay. Honestly, this should almost be entitled The Gnome Kingdom, but this is still about red, so I'll leave the chapter name. I'll leave it anyways, probably. It's like a pain in the butt to keep on, like, redoing these here. Uh, okay, yeah, if when I get to the layout tool, once I get all the major features in, maybe one of the things that I should do is I should have a renaming function or like tool, like a renaming tool, sort of, um, where I could rename all the chapters, and it would kind of search for the right, the right stuff or whatever. And I could do it right within the layout tool that ways. In fact, I could have a way of being able to match certain things. So I could match like chapter or whatever, and then it would rename everything based on that, stuff like that. Sort of what the Python scripts do, but maybe in a more kind of user-friendly way and from that tool itself. Maybe I can do that. Okay. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Okay, fine. Within the boundaries of the Gnome Kingdom, Max finds Scarlet Red Clover and pulls her out of hiding. Go and conscript the werewolves from their village into a service. Due to their history with them, Red goes to the werewolf village. Red tells the werewolves led by Rottweiler that they might be rid of their curse to join Max's army. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna check out here is I'm gonna go back and check my room names. So I think I moved away. Not name, open tab. So like keyboard goes for help. A perfect candidate. So the chapter names don't necessarily reflect the first. The first page doesn't necessarily reflect the chapter names. So when I change that, I have to change. Anywho, that's quite all right. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if these are the only pages here that are pages. Let's see if okay, pulls her out of hiding. Except the werewolves. Okay, so let me start with. Usually I have one that's a setup, and then I have a second one that's the starting. I'm not sure. Should I do that ways? Leaves for. We're gonna say leaves for. And that will actually be the end of that. Okay, so this is at the werewolf village here. Oh, um, well, this might could be in the first part here. Might do it like this. Like it's kind of. I guess it's kind of like I had it. The setup page. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe I need like two separate deals here. Because if I do stuff in here with a couple of choices in here in coaxing Red to do my bidding, and then this is where she actually goes and starts to talk to him. Actually, maybe I should reorder a few things here. Red leaves for the Railroad Village. Red tells the werewolves led by Rottweiler that they may be able to rid their curse. Uh, that they might be rid of their curse if they join Max's army. Okay. They tell. Let's actually put this. We're gonna put this up here. They tell Red they might consider it if they can have some proof that Max can lift the curse. Proof that the curse can be lifted. Uh, we're gonna presume that he's in the mine somewhere. There, he might be at the castle. I don't know. I don't know where he's at. Honestly, I'd have a thing where I should create some maps of where everything is. I mean, I kind of started to do that a little bit. Just my poor Silas control, and um, I don't know. It just um, I guess I have to consider what's already been done and where it sits and all that stuff. Let's see. Red, Red leaves to go get Max. While she's gone, Kurt, Rottweiler's second in command, leaves the werewolf village. Leaves the werewolf village. We're gonna cut this off here just because it's too long for me. Uh, leaves the werewolf village. Let's see. After remembering, um, Red and Violet's rivalry, Kurt travels to Fairy God College to meet with her. Okay. Violet agrees to help Kurt become the leader of the pack if Kurt eliminates Red. Okay, that's good. Red brings Max back to the village. Who turns a few of the werewolves back into humans. Discuss. Um, Okay, so I have a thing here. We need to go back to the werewolf village, where that next scene is, and see what happens to Red, if she's still there, or because I have her returning to the Renaissance Fair. Let's see something here. Princess's Great Escape, Zanzibar's Last Show, Lost in Lapswood, Fire Up the Machine, What You Do About Quicksilver, The Gnome Kingdom, Tear in the Skies, Back to the Mines, Totem Leadership. Wow. Totem Leadership is way up there. I mean, that's chapter 16. I mean, it's alright, but it's still way up there. Um, that's okay though. Hmm. Um, let me think here. Let's think. Bu- 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 It's like, what is Red supposed to be doing though? What's her function? It's not what it is. I mean, she's convincing the werewolves to actually join Max's army, but what's her purpose for her to go back with Max? Okay, so what is okay? Let me look at something here. Let's look at 15 here. Back to the mines. So maybe all right. I'm just gonna put a little extra sentence in here. Uh, Max sends Red back to the werewolf village to organize them for and bring them to the castle. We're gonna do that. She then heads back to the werewolf village. Kurt jumps out of the bushes. Kurt hunks her so hard that they both fall into the forest. Okay. All right. Interesting thing here. I'm just starting this wondering if there a shouldn't be like something in between here, because this is one of those things where you're not going to show exactly what happens to her, partly because it's too gruesome, and partly just because of, just to make it a story point of interest, basically. So and I'll change this here. Meanwhile, as Violet is grabbing select books from the library, she's called to what they call Mother Superior, Fairy Godmother Superior. Uh, she's called to her office. Fairy College. Violet is grabbing select books from the library when she's wait when she's called to the office. Okay. Okay, so Kurt drops Red's hood onto her. Kurt is sitting in her chair. And drops Red's hood on her desk. Um, Kurt mentions that Red promised to remove their curses if they join Max. Kurt doesn't want them to do that, so wait a minute, what did I move the curses? He didn't want that. He asked Violet to enhance the effects of the curse so he can take over the pack. Violet agrees and tells him to steal, to bring it to her. And bring it to her. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna leave that there. That's gonna be another kind of a big one. I'm gonna save it, save room data, make sure everything is saved, and we'll go back to Tear in the Skies. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay, so let's jump back in here. Let's reread this and see if it kind of works yet. Within the boundaries of the Gnome Kingdom, Max finds Scarlet Red Clover and pulls her out of hiding. Max asks Red to go and conscript the werewolves from their village into his service due to their history with them. Red leaves for the werewolf village, tells the werewolves led by Rottweiler they might be rid of their curse to join Max's army. They tell Red they might consider it if they can have some proof that the curse can be lifted. Red leaves to go get Max. While she's gone, Kurt, Rottweiler's second in command, leaves the werewolf village after remaining Red and Violet's rivalry. Kurt travels to Fairy God College to meet with her. Violet agrees to help Kurt become leader of the pack if Kurt eliminates Red. Red brings his backpack to the village. He turns a few of the werewolves into humans. The werewolves led by Rottweiler throw Red into a hut. And yes, Max is standing around while she's thrown into a hut. Max, in a way, kind of doesn't care. In a way, he knows this is crucial and that he should just let them do whatever they're going to do. And that he figures, and this is not stuff I'm writing, it's just stuff I'm thinking up. He figures that if they do mean harm to Red, he can take care of them if he needs to. So he doesn't worry about them treating her roughly. Violet agrees to help Kurt. Okay. Discuss. Come back to the village. Kurt comes back. Debate joining Max's army. Eventually agree and then bring Red back out. Red and Max return to the Renaissance Fair as Max boards the train. Now let me look at one more thing here first before doing that. Let's go back to the totem. Well, why does it do that? Let's go back to the totem of leadership. I don't like using the mouse button all the time, but whatever. Let's go back here. Chapter 6 and Chapter 16. I need to check these out real quick. Let's see. Rooms. 6 and 16. Open with text editor. I'm going to read how each of these work. Words debate join Max Army eventually agree. Red and Max return to the Renaissance Fair Depot. At one point, he has a private train, but then he also has the depot. I don't remember where the werewolf village is. I imagine it's going to be somewhere down south. In fact, it might be. How did I decide to do that? Wizard U, Night School are up here, and Princess Prep and Fairy God College are down like this. I think that's how I worked it. Uh, oh. Uh, Kurt comes back to the village. back to the werewolf village to organize them and bring them to the castle. She then heads back. Kurt jumps out of the bushes. Okay. Alrighty. I guess that's okay the way it's set up, so I guess I don't need to worry about that. Fire up the machine. Alright. Okay, I'm just making sure that this is the way I want to do it, because these are going to be four pages. Alright. So I'm going to make these into 4 separate pages. Okay. And these are all going to be T1 page whatevers. I guess page 0 is always the main one, right? It's always the first one. So yeah. So this is going to be page 0. Between 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to need 3 more deals here. And you know what I'm going to do about that? I'm actually going to do that manually too. I'm going to copy this one and yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to manually copy these. Not the totem of leadership, but the 6. There we go. So this is what we're going to do. Copy 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. All right. So hiding in plain sight. Riding Hood in plain sight. I'm trying to think of a name for where he actually goes and finds her hiding. He actually knows where she's at. She thinks she's hidden, but he kind of knows everything that's going on in the mines. I could. It's a little cheeky, but I could call it Red's Riding Hoods. And here, let me do a. I know I explained this in another dealie. This is why I called it Red Hot Riding Hood, not because of the actual cartoon Red Hot Riding Hood, but the I was just using that as a play on the word. But wasn't there an episode of Winkle Winkle shows fractured fairy tales where uh, Red Riding Hood is running a store called Red's Riding Hoods, where she's trying to get the wolves pelt. Maybe this Little Red's Riding Hoods, also known as Little Red Riding Hood. Season 5, episode 107, where Red owns a fur shop and is seeking a wolf pelt to sell. In this episode, the wolf is on his way to Grandma's house with gifts, but the story takes a twist as Red reverses the traditional narrative, and the wolf eventually enters the fur business himself. Okay, yeah. And this was, okay, Little Red's Riding Hoods. Let's see if I can look that up. Well, yeah. Tales. Uh, is it this one? Maybe I should actually put this over here off screen so I don't get pinged. I'm not. I'm less likely to get pinged for some visuals than I am with the sound though. Sound usually really. What is? Okay, so I'm hearing. Wait a second. What? Where am I hearing my voice from? Is what I want to know. Oh, I see. Rumble was actually Rumble audio never comes on. It's always silent. It's always muted. But for some reason, it wasn't this time. So I was hearing myself twice, which is weird. But that's okay. Here, let me. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna mute both audios so I can listen to this. You can't hear it because I shouldn't have the desktop audio on. I'd probably get pinged. Actually, I don't know if I get pinged because this is all copyrighted stuff anyway. So it's kind of like, would I actually get pinged? I don't know. But Red's Riding Hoods. Okay, so I'm not gonna describe the whole episode or whatever, but she runs a fur shop basically, and this lady comes in and she wants a wolf skin riding hood is what she wants. This lady comes in, and so the whole episode is how Red is trying to get this wolf skin, this the wolf fur, and so admittedly, I kind of stole my idea from that. So I don't know if that's I don't guess it's technically copyright infringement because I'm not like copying like actual like somebody's actual IP or anything. But yeah, so there is that. And actually, I'll unmute that audio there and leave the Rumble one muted because I don't have my earphones. But anyways, so admittedly, I kind of took the idea. So the only unoriginal idea I had, which I thought was just I thought it was funny, I guess. And I don't know that I originally came up with this idea because I was deliberately copying that, but maybe I'd seen it before. I mean, obviously I've probably seen it before, like a long time ago, but maybe I was watching that and that entered into my head as to actually implementing it. So in my story, it's kind of the same thing, except for the fact that in the Fractured Fairy Tales episode, it's just a one off where Red is trying to find a wolf skin or wolf fur so that she can make it into a riding hood for this lady. And so my whole the whole Red's whole backstory here is that that was kind of the scam she was running with Grandma. They'd lure in wolves and then they would take their furs. And until one fateful day when Grandma didn't make it, and Grandma got eaten. And I won't really say that, partly because I'm still trying to be family friendly and all that, but also partly because I'm trying not to be like too gruesome or whatever. It's comedy after all, so basically you're not gonna know the gruesome details or whatever. But so basically, Grandma gets eaten, and so Red is in fear of her life, and she goes and hides out in the Gnome Kingdom, um, in the Gnome Kingdom, basically. Now, how she's able to be there, I can only guess that she made enough from her business to convince Barty, the king of the gnomes, to let her stay there. Much like much like Max is actually um, is much like Max is actually using his kingdom for their mines. The gnomes don't mine anything themselves, and so anytime they can see a easy money, they're gonna take it. So that's why they're exceptionally easy. Okay, so this is okay. So let's go back to the actual files so I can think up the actual names that I want to use. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to rename this. Rename this to what am I going to rename it to? Uh, I was going to say Red Riding Hoods, but that's not it either. Little Red's Riding Hoods. Let's see. She's in hiding. Hiding Red Riding Hood. Uh, let me think. I don't know. I'm still trying to think of a name. I always obsess over names, and so it's kind of a big deal to me is the names. Um, Max gets her out of hiding. He has to convince her to go to the werewolf village, and to recruit them. Um, and I guess he's kind of promised her protection and stuff. But eventually, she ultimately ends up going because Max convinces her somehow. Um, Red Hiding Hood. Actually, that's not bad. I won't do Little Red's Riding Hoods because it's not about a riding hood. Anyways, I was thinking about that as a joke, playing on the Fractured Fairy Tales episode. Good evening, Rook. Welcome to the stream. You're probably the only one that's in here. There might be others watching, but I can never tell if it's just me or if it's or not. You'd think that YouTube and Rumble would have the ability to tell when it's your channel that's streaming and to tell that you're the one that's viewing your stream and would not count that as a viewer. But whenever I do that, then it automatically has two viewers on Restream. So evidently, I'm the two viewers. And then now there's three. Um, and actually, there was three before you talked. So I don't know how that works either. Maybe it's two. Maybe there's a couple of other people in there watching or something. I don't know, but whatever. You're probably the only one that's actually watching. I'm working on chapter 6, and I'm trying to come up with the name for each of these title pages. Each of these, they're the story beats, and this first story beat has Max knowing exactly Red where Red is hiding, uh, because it's kind of been his domain. His mines are there in the Gnome Kingdom, and she had managed to sneak into the Gnome Kingdom when she went into hiding after Grandma got eaten. So, um, he's gonna try to pull her out, and he's gonna try to convince her to go back to the werewolf village and try to recruit them for his armies. Um, and he figures she's the best one for the job, even though she's been at enmity between them. Actually, I'll probably show that in the narrative part. They'll want to eat her or tear her apart or whatever. They'll want to get rid of her, and um, but Max soon convinces them that they want to hide to help them. But possibly going to help them remove their curse if they join his armies. So that's where we are. So I'll just go ahead and say Red Hiding Hood because that hiding hood like that. Okay. Um, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to modify 6 here manually to be Red Hiding Hood. Red Hiding Hood. Yeah, like that. Red Hot Riding Hood is the name of the chapter. And we'll just close that so that now it points to the right one. And okay, now page 1. So now I'm going to have to go and figure out what I want for page 1. Red leaves for the werewolf village. Red tells the werewolves led by Rottweiler they might be rid of the curse if they join Max's army. They tell Red they might consider it if they can have some proof so that the curse can be lifted. Red leaves to go get Max. Okay. Hey, let's see. So they make a bargain if they're showed proof. Um, I'm not being very original, but I'm gonna call this next one proof for a bargain like that. Page 1, proof for a bargain. That okay. And then the third one is while she's gone, Kurt Rottweiler, second in command, leaves the Werewolf Village after remembering Red and Violet's rivalry. Kurt travels to Fairy Guy College to meet with her. Violet agrees to help Kurt become leader of the pack if Kurt eliminates Red. Um, rename an ancient rivalry, an ancient hatred. Let's think. Frenemies. We could presume that. Well, I don't know. I think even in school there were rivals. What is that concept of frenemies? Frenemies. That isn't even a word, but let's look that up. Uh, what is the concept of the term frenemies? frenemy. Humorous. Someone who pretends to be your friend but really is your enemy. A fair weather friend who's also a rival. That could describe them, I think. Um, and if not, then frenemy. Here. Well, it portman, portmanteau of friend enemy, referring to someone who appears friendly but harbors underlying rivalry, resentment, or dislike. These relationships often maintained for social, professional, or personal benefits, such as preserving social connections or appearances. Despite mutual distrust or negative feelings, frenemies may act supportive in public while being competitive or undermining in private. Maybe they are. Uh, FREN. Where did this term originate? The blend of friend and enemy at earliest documented print use in 1891 as appearing as frenemies in a Kansas newspaper referring to political rivals. However, it was popularized much later by American gossip columnist Walter Winchell in 1953. He used to describe the complex U.S.-Russia relationship during the Cold War. Writer Jessica Milford also claimed the term was coined by one of her sisters in childhood and used the spelling frenemy in a 1977 article, helping to cement its modern usage. Okay. Hmm. But okay, let me think about this for a second. Let's see if nobody's coming to the chat here. Nobody in there. Nobody here. Okay, that's good, I guess. Nobody talking in here. Okay. We'll go ahead and do frenemies. So in my game, is a fantasy adventure. Main villain is an evil wizard named Max, who is trying to take over multiple worlds by building a giant machine. His his right hand woman is an evil sorceress named Violet, and there's another woman named Red, Scarlet Red Clover. Both women like Max, but are really enemies that hate each other. Eventually, Violet comes up with a way to get rid of Red. So I'm trying to think if describing them as enemies is appropriate. Appropriate. Oh, there I go using the AI again. I guess Bomb won't like that. Entirely appropriate. They're both loyal to the same villain, maintain a political alliance, likely act cooperative in front of him, yet secretly hate each other. compete for his favor and are driven by rivalry and jealousy. This fits the classic definition of frenemies. Individuals are outwardly friendly or allied, but friendly adversaries. Violet's plot to eliminate Red is a quintessential frenemy move, maintaining a facade of unity while scheming behind the scenes. Their dynamic adds tension. Okay, that's good. That's really all I wanted to know. And yeah, so I used another AI. Sorry, Bomb. If you ever watch this, I did it again. I'm sorry. Okay, so rename. I'll actually rename. The original spelling was that, and then this I guess author in the 70s spelled it Frenemey. So we're gonna rename the modern spelling here. Frenemies. That's actually all right. Oh, rename that to page 2. Page 2. Okay. Oh, Red Hiding Hood. Right. Okay. So now we have the third one here. Red brings back Max to the village. Werewolves. Proof for a bargain. I don't want to use bargain the second time, so let's call it something else. Let's call it, okay, so this is going to actually be page 3. In page 0, the reason I'm not just doing it straight up 1, 2, and 3 or whatever, 1, starting with 1, I'm starting with 0 on all these is just because these were the top top title. They're almost meant to not have decision points in them, although this one is actually going to have a decision point in it. But oh, that's right. I need to rename these title title 1, title 2, title 3, and title 4 is what I need to do. Actually, they should all be paged. All right. I'll have to rename these, but that's okay. So what do I call this? This is the where they actually strike the bargain. Um, a tenuous deal. Now, in fact, instead of doing that, we're going to do T1, T2, T3, and T4. So let's rename T2 P0. Okay. T1 P0, T2 P0. T3 P0. And rename T4 P0 like that. There we go. The title's in the same chapter. Okay. Let me do a quick search, and it's not really AI at all. Tenuous. Define tenuous. Weak or insubstantial, flimsy, precarious or insecure, long and thin, slender. Yeah. So that actually is probably an okay description there, right? Okay, so we got our titles, and now I actually have to go in and I have to edit each of these. So let's just do that. And let's do one text editor. Okay, 0. T1, P0. Title. Title is called Red Hiding Hood. Chapter is chapter 6. Red Hiding Hood. And I don't think I did this on all of them, but I'm going to do it here. Red Hiding Hood. Go like that. Now, the door is to proof for a bargain. So, um, I'll just do it manually, I guess. I'll just do it manually, just to get done here. Oh, it's already 3 o'clock, darn it. Well, I'm gonna get these couple of things done. I'm gonna get this working and then load it into the thing here. Okay, so proof for a bargain. And this is gonna go to 6. T2, P0, proof. Here, let's copy this. Proof for a bargain. Control C. Control V. For a bargain. Okay. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna 6T2. And we're gonna call this proof for a bargain. So proof for a bargain. This is gonna be, title is gonna be proof for a bargain. And it's gonna be space. For a bargain, and we're gonna copy that. Control C. Chapter 6 is fine. Control V. Proof for a bargain is the name of the title. Okay. Then the next one is door to frenemies. That's kind of an easy one. Frenemies. That. B. Here's 06. P3. P0 dash frenemies. So. Right. Go to frenemies. We're going to call this T3 P0. Wait. I did change it, right? Good. Frenemies. This is actually going to be pretty easy. And chapter 6 is fine. Frenemies. Period. Okay. So far, so good. And then this is going to be a door to 18 News Deal. A tenuous. Copy that. And we're going to copy here. So, and this is going to link to P4. 6, P4, P0. Okay. So a tenuous deal. I already probably had that copied, but that's okay. Yeah. T4, P0. Oop, 4, P0. Control V. Oh, tenuous deal. Title. Control V. And Control V. And we'll take these spaces out of here and spaces out of here. Now, this should be, it's going to lead to Zanzibar the Great, which is fine. So, if I got this right, we do have them separated now, and I can reload the page in here. And scene, reload, saved, scene. Okay. And that's actually quite all right. Here. Let's do the thing here. Like that. There's 3. There's 2. There's 1. Okay. And that is that one. Oh, Dad's asking if I'm done. Give me a second. Okay. Give me a quick sec here. Door. T1, P0. What? Oh, did I not change? Red. Hiding hood. Yes. Save room data. Reload, save scene. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm supposed to be done right now, so I guess I'm done. Okay. Fine. Thanks for watching part 2, and I guess I will see you tomorrow.